speak on the amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You know, in October, my district suffered the most destructive fire in California history. And this August, another fire ravaged through Northern California, and it was the largest fire in California history. But folks in my district aren't the only ones to see these sweeping and devastating fires. The Carr fire, which we did a moment of silence for on the floor yesterday, was in Representative LaMalfa's district, and it destroyed over 1,000 homes and 3 firefighters died. The Canyon fire in Representative Walter's district forced 15,000 residents to evacuate from their homes. And the Ferguson fire in Representative McClintock's district burned nearly 1,000 acres, and 2 firefighters were killed there as well. And we don't even have a full committee here today because of the disaster of historic proportion. Mr. Rice and Mr. Holding are both at home in their districts bracing for Hurricane Florence. The survivors of disasters like these shouldn't have to come begging Congress for a tax relief in the darkest hours of their lives. They shouldn't be spared only if they're lucky enough to live in the district that's represented by our committee chairman. That's why I'm offering this amendment to make targeted changes that will provide relief to communities hit by disaster. These are the same targeted changes that the chairman secured for his community in the aftermath of last year's hurricanes. My amendment would expand the deduction for personal casualty losses in the disaster area, provide for penalty-free access to retirement funds, suspend limitations on charitable giving related to disaster relief, provide a tax incentive for disaster-related wage relief, and ensure impacted families qualify for the earned income and child tax credits. Again, you shouldn't have to be a constituent of the chairman of the Ways and Means Committee to have access to disaster tax relief. The stars shouldn't have to line up perfectly in order for you to get help. This help should be automatic. A key part of this amendment reinstates the deduction for casualty losses outside of a declared disaster. I've seen my share of disasters that don't meet the threshold for federal disaster declaration. There have been nearly 5,000 fires in California this year since the beginning of September, or through the beginning of September. If you lose a home in one of those fires that don't qualify, the least this Congress can do is allow for the deduction of those uncompensated losses. We should not be turning our back on those who need help the most. We should be providing a path for them to get back on their feet. I urge everyone to support the amendment and tell the folks recovering from these disasters that this Congress and this government stands with them. I yield back the balance of my time.